Sophomore blue liner Emily Curlett joining me on Women's Hockey Weekly, and the Colonials coming off a hard-earned split of St. Lawrence to kick off the 18-19 campaign. Got a big test certainly this weekend, and we'll get to that. But yeah, just looking back on that first series, the big dramatic overtime win that you had something to do with before overtime with the second period equalizer there. Takeaways from that series, things that impressed you?
I thought it was really impressive how our team bounced back after the first game. It's always hard to get a loss as your first game, but I was very impressed with how all the young players on our team bounced back. Even in the third period of the first game, I thought we really bounced back. So I think it was a really good learning point to actually come out, drop that win, but then come back and get the win the next day.
Is that something the team has tried to really focus on this year, the resiliency? Because I know there were a couple games last year where they didn't necessarily handle discomfort, for lack of a better word, as well as you guys did over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a huge focus, especially with how hard our schedule is this year. We have a lot of big-name teams and a lot of big trials coming up in our future in our schedule. So definitely we want to focus on bouncing back from that first game no matter what the result is. We want to come out and get that win the second night no matter what.
How did it feel to see that first one go in? I know you love to shoot the puck, so it's okay. Go ahead. You can say it. They know.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome. I didn't really anticipate getting a goal, you know.
Right,
I mean, that's
right.
not my focus, but it was definitely a very big weight lifted off my shoulders for our whole team and for me personally, just to get that first one out of the way. And it's great to have it being a tying goal, an important goal. So it was very, very lucky, but very good.
And that was kind of a theme in that Saturday game, getting offense from defense, because Mac's goal came on a tip-in of Jillian Slapshot. Of course, there's your goal. And then Welshie scores on the one-timer in overtime. So it's not such a bad thing having to lean on the defenders for offense when you guys are very clearly capable of generating offense.
Yeah, our D-core is very strong this year. We have a lot of just bombs from the point, whether it be, you know, Welshie or Crash, or even our freshmen have some great shots. So I think that's really going to be a key point for us this year, being able to utilize that power from the point and our power on the front end as well.
How is Crash doing with defense, by the way? Because going into the season, looking at the way the lineup and the roster was shaking out, that was something that surprised me personally, to see her taking a couple of games back there and doing okay with it, ostensibly.
She's been doing awesome. You know, I can't imagine being thrown on forward right now. I would be totally overwhelmed, but she's been doing great. She almost is a natural at it, and she's just kind of absorbing everything like a sponge in practice and asking questions, and she's been doing an awesome job with it, so credit to her.
And it's not that long ago that you were a rookie yourself. Of course, you made the CHA all-rookie team last year. It's not ancient history we're talking about here. But, you know, from drawing upon that experience, what kinds of things have you said and done to kind of get the rookies comfortable as they start their first season?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make them as comfortable as possible, making them understand that it's still just hockey.
Right,
you know,
right.
The same game they played 3 months ago is still the game they're playing right now. So I think that's kind of the biggest point. That's something that I had to learn my couple games, and we're jumping into a lot harder of teams than we were my freshman year. So it's kind of just getting them comfortable and getting rid of those nerves as quickly as possible, especially with this weekend coming up.
And about that tough schedule, speaking of which, #1 Clarkson is the opponent, and it's the first road series of the season. Friday at 6 o'clock is the first game, and then, of course, Saturday at 3 o'clock, the second game against the national champion Golden Knights. And, I mean, you guys, you know, being CHA champions and all, you know what it's like to be the hunted, if you will. Now you are the hunter, going in and trying to knock off a team that is above you. Is that maybe a little more fun to be in that position, or?
I don't know. It's kind of, both of them have their own perks. I mean, when you're the one who everybody wants to knock off, you got to watch your back and be prepared to play anybody. But it's also fun being able to chase the team, you know, and know that you have a big opportunity to be the underdog and to come out and get that win to shock everybody, you know. And it's a huge opportunity right now. It's going to be a big factor later in the year. So we're definitely looking to be prepared for that and ready to go come Friday night.
I have to think that the mood and the mindset of the team is very beneficial right now. Just going out there, you know, when you have one team that has literally nothing to lose and another team with the reputation that Clarkson has, of course, they've won the national championships, maybe they have a little bit more to lose. Funny things can happen in sports sometimes when those two forces collide.
Yeah, it's gonna be a battle, definitely. I don't think think it's unreachable. I think as long as our mentality is, we can do it, as long as we put our mind to it and we're prepared for it, I think that anything is possible. And we're going in there looking for 2 wins, not looking to avoid 2 losses.
And by the way, as we tape this, you're coming from a workout. It was gym time after Wednesday practice. I bring this up because there have been some staffing changes to the strength and conditioning staff in the offseason. You guys have some new coaches to work with. What has it been like getting to know the new strength coach and doing what you've been doing thus far?
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. Coach Day and CJ do a fantastic job of understanding, where our bodies are at and what we need as far as, a lift or a stretch, or maybe we need more time in one area than another. So they've been doing an awesome job. They keep the energy going and they keep our bodies ready to go for the next day.
Lapeer, Michigan. You're a Wings fan? Yes. Okay. Hockey is back. We talked to Jay earlier. She's a big Oilers fan. They got to get their act. The Wings. My wife's a Wings fan. They got to get their act together this year. What can the Wings do this season to kind of get back to being the Wings?
I've been more focused on what can the Colonials do.
But, I like that answer. I like that answer.
They have a lot of young players, a lot of good talent, and their preseason action has been fantastic so far. So hopefully they can just work on their consistency maybe this year, because consistency is key when it comes to winning games, especially in the NHL where you play 80 games a year. They got a big schedule ahead of them too.
We got to get her on NBC. Like, seriously, you can't do worse. Let me put it that way. Emily Curlett, not a bad player to watch either. Sophomore defender. Again, Robert Morris trying to build off win number 1 and hopefully turn some heads in Clarkson this weekend. First road series of the season. Thanks, Curly. Good luck in Clarkson.
Thanks.